Wrestling fans, we get a treat for you now as we are joined by TNA Impact Wrestling superstar and member of the Aces and Eights. Devon joins us here on the new Sentinel Sports page. Devon, Vince Ferrara, and Evan Woodbery. Great to talk to you. How you doing, Devon?
I'm doing good, man. How you guys doing?
We're great. Devon, I know you've been to a lot of different places in your career. You've had a long and an illustrious career in professional wrestling / sports entertainment. Do you have any specific memories of time, maybe in not just in Knoxville, but maybe in the state of Tennessee, performing and being here with the wrestling fans in state?
I know back in the ECW days, Bubba and I have caused major riots today in Tennessee. That was one. Another thing is, I think we put Edge and Christian through the tables for the first time in Knoxville, so that was another one. And I think we beat the hell out of Bear Money. So I think with all of that history being made, it's time for some new history, and I think Aces and Eights is going to do the job in creating that history in Knoxville at the Civic Center.
Well, Kit, for people that haven't seen a world tour stop, what are some things they're going to be able to see? Obviously, everyone gets to see Thursday night Impact Wrestling on Spike TV at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central. But what are the world tour stops for fans that are going to go out there and see you guys?
Well, I can tell you this. I feel bad for the fans of TNA because, Aces and Eights, we're not going to rest until we take out the majority of TNA. So for everybody that's going to show up on the TNA roster, you got Matt Morgan, you've got Jeff Hardy, you've got Austin Aries, you have RVD, you even have some of the knockouts, and Miss Tess Maka and Madison Lane. And Aces and Eights, we don't discriminate. We'll take out the women too,
wow,
as far as the fans as well. So, anyone in that arena on that particular night, you better believe not only a riot's going to take place, somebody might go through a table, but I can guarantee you somebody's not walking out of there on their own.
You can be a part of the riots and the all of what's going to go down at the Impact Wrestling World Tour stop tomorrow night at Knoxville Civic Coliseum. You can get your tickets at KnoxvilleTickets.com, or you can call them at 865-656-4444. Devon, who have you enjoyed the most in your career putting through a table? What did you get the most enjoyment? Who did you put through a table that you enjoyed the most in your career?
Out of all the people that I put through a table my whole career, I got to say the most enjoyable one was that Bound for Glory, put my brother through the table. After everything that he's done in the last 2 years and after the last 15 years of the hell that he's put me through when we were Team 3D and the Dudley Boys, I finally got my just due. I waited patiently, and when the opportunity was there, putting him through the table, and that felt good.
Now, is he working his way towards being a baby face in TNA now? Is that what I'm sensing?
Well, all of a sudden now he loves the fans. Before he used to hate them, he didn't care for them, he wanted to be a bully, but now all of a sudden, being that the fans don't like me, and now all of a sudden he's jumping on the bandwagon, which is what he normally does in life, period. Now all of a sudden he wants to be a fan favorite. Well, he can continue to be a fan favorite, not only that, but he can continue to chase me. For the last 2 or 3 years, when the fans were behind me and he was doing the things that he was doing, I tried to get him in the ring and he wouldn't show up. Well, now it's the other way around. So now that I got, I righted the wrong and did what I did, now all of a sudden he feels like he has to put his hands on me. Well, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen tonight if he shows up, and it's definitely not going to happen on Impact Live.
Well, we're joined by Devon from TNA Impact Wrestling. Devon, you carried him throughout your career anyway, right?
Absolutely. I like your way of thinking. As a matter of fact, I might have to just patch you in for just saying that alone.
We're talking to Devon from TNA. So I mentioned you're now a member of Aces and Eights, and Devon and your brother Bubba now sort of bully, sort of going more the face role. Which is more enjoyable if you're a performer? Is it being the heel that everybody hates and getting that pop? Or is it being a face? Which is more fun, do you think?
I love being hated. I really don't. At this particular point in time, I really don't care if you like me or love me. I'm going to say what I want, do what I want to do at any given time. You always have those idiots out there that even when you want to be loved, and you want to be, the apple in everybody's eye, you always have those ones that'll sit up there and try to be the loudest and tell you that they don't like you still. Well, that's great, because now I don't have to cater to anybody. Now I can go and tell you to go to hell.
And you guys can do pretty much what you want. You have free reign into arenas, so you can cause all kinds of havoc you want, right?
Absolutely. Hogan made the biggest mistake of his life right before Bound for Glory by, putting that match into place. Had no idea that I was going to be the one behind, everything that was going to make sure that at Bound for Glory, Aces and Eights was going to come out on top.
Devon, is Ric Flair still in your locker room?
I believe so. I haven't seen him, but I believe so. And I have a lot of respect for him, so I would hope he wouldn't take the side of TNA, because I would hate to have to take him out.
Devon, I brought up Ric Flair, and Ric Flair's Four Horsemen DVD is one of the great ones in wrestling out of all the ones that are out there, and it outlined how the kind of lifestyle that they lived, and certainly not everyone maybe lived that kind of lifestyle in traveling and working. But how is being?
No, I think if we all lived that type of lifestyle, we'd all be broke.
That's right. They were rolling in the money, and they were rolling in a lot of other things too. But Devon, what has travel nowadays with wrestling and sports entertainment? Has the travel changed? The requirement on you as performers, is that any lighter these days as opposed to back in the day when it was 7 days a week and on the road almost every day of the year?
Well, I do know with the other company they're still on the road just as much, but I do know, at TNA when we first came here, the schedule wasn't as much as it was, when we came from the other company. But now it's starting to pick up with more of the demand for TNA, and people just wanting to see the product. TNA is growing at a rapid pace, and when things like that happen, there's just an overwhelming demand for the product. So when that happens, that means you have to bring the show on the road, a lot more than you normally would, and that's what TNA has been doing. So, with that being said, the schedule is still a little lighter compared to other company, but yet at the same token, we're still out there doing what we got to do and still traveling.
TNA Impact Wrestling World Tour tomorrow night at Knoxville Civic Coliseum, 7:30. You can get your tickets. Call 656-4444, KnoxvilleTickets.com. You can find them online at Impact Wrestling, TNA Impact Wrestling, ImpactWrestling.com. And then, of course, tonight you can see the show on Spike TV, Impact Wrestling, leading up to Friday night's event. Any last shout-out to the fans, the wrestling fans that might want to come out and see you guys tomorrow night?
Well, I got to shout out. I know there's going to be some haters out there, that's not going to like Aces and Eights, that's pro-TNA. Well, the invitation stands for you as well. If anybody in that arena feels like they have to, the cojones, I won't say the other word because you might bleep me, but the cojones to come out there and to jump that railing and get in the ring with Aces and Eights, come on out, because I guarantee you, just like everybody on that roster who jumps in that ring with us, they get taken out. I guarantee the fans will be taken out one by one as well. So if you got the guts, and I believe, Knoxville, they have pretty big ones, come on out. Come on out, jump that ring, try to get in there and try to prove you're a man. And I guarantee you Aces and Eights will snatch that right away from you.
And, Devon, they're feeling pretty feisty right now because, as you probably know, the Tennessee football team has had some recent struggles. So tempers are flaring already.
Listen, if you got people that are listening to me right now that are, Tennessee fans and all that and that football, I can honestly say Tennessee sucks. Tennessee sucks. So now that I said that, Tennessee sucks. Even for non-wrestling fans or what have you, why don't you come buy a ticket and take your fist and try to put it in my mouth or try to make your opinion known. So come on down to the Civic Center and let me hear what you got to say. I would love to have a debate with you one-on-one.
Outstanding. Devon, appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. That's Devon from TNA Impact Wrestling.